So guys, now we are going to discussing about Android security models. So in the Android security models, it's like a multi-layered framework designed to protect a user's apps and system data and unauthorized access and malicious threat. It combines like a Linux kernel and security features, and application sandboxing, permission for enforcement, and app signing and verified a boot. Mandatory access for control, like a MAC address. It's mandatory will be there for even for Android, either by Windows, either by Mac OS, Linux, everything. You can get by SELinux. Together, these layers ensures that app run securely with the restricted access to a system, a resource to a user data. So how this going to be work here? Look here. So when you have installed from a Play Store, let's you just look here as from Play Store. Let's you would like to go for other apps. Then you would like to try to search here as I would like to search here as a Netflix. So when you try to install this app in your Android phone, that will, first of all, it will take the permissions as an authorized rise users or not. Then it will go for app signing in your device with the SE Linux. Then that will be launched in your Android OS with the SE Linux. Once it was installed, you can open, then you will give a permissions, what else you require. Then you either you can create an account and what else you like, you can do it here. So each Android apps runs like a self-contained environment, knowing like a sandbox here in this application sandbox. So how it may be works. Every app is assigned a unique Linux UID, like a user ID. When installed, it operates in its own process and have a private directory like a data or a data otherwise with a package name. Like if you install any type of package, like let's consider here as a Netflix, it will be stored a data with a Netflix name that you will see in the uh, folder like uh, file manager. Otherwise, you can consider like let's consider like a folder in a folder. You can look everything there. Like if you not yet install, let's you would like to go for like you try to install uh, like media for reading. So this will be stored in the uh, unique user ID. This will be present in the Play Store. Like let's you have considered you have username with your Gmail. Like let's consider like a hacker at the rate gmail.com. That the user ID will become hacker. That's it. In the hacker, once they go here, you would like to look here in PW data, and you would like to look here medium. In the medium app, if you clone entirely this package, otherwise export, otherwise steal this data, another Linux system, they can easily access without your credentials of even the medium. If you log in into over there, they can access entirely your app data. Apps cannot directly read or write or interact with other apps or files with the memory space also. Here, if one app will be stored in one app directory only, like a data with a app name. That's it. Like let's consider like a package name. That's it here. So, when you come to security benefits, why must be a matter? This isolation limits the damage for a malicious apps can cause us. Even if a compromise, it cannot be interfere with the system or services or other apps. Like let's you can consider you can only have inject the APK file, otherwise you have installed a malicious app, and the file of location where you have installed in the data here will be come to a malicious state, malicious app, the file data where they can access only the phone internal system. Let's like you can get like ID, who am I, that's it. They cannot able to access your phone calls, messages, or etc things. That's it here. So let's look here how it will be work here. Like you have installed a Netflix that will be connected with the sandbox. And if you install a Medium, otherwise if you install a YouTube, that will be launched with a sandbox, that will be done. And if you install unauthorized apps, that will be come to here as a app 3 as launching with the sandbox. That will not to be compromised as a app 1 or app 2. This is more a secure way in the Android. So, when you come to any permissions in Android, like a permission control and app access to a sensitive data or a hardware, such as like a location, camera, microphone, contacts, storage, everything must and should be given. Like let's consider like a permissions, a type of permissions. Let's we would like to considered. Okay, so this type of permissions and Android will be required. Let's we would like to look here. The permissions means what else we require? Like a normal permissions automatically granted for a internet access. For every app will automatically grant for an internet access. When go for a dangerous permissions, it's required a explicit permissions like a user approval like SMS, contacts, or Google location, live locations, or your phone activities. This is a dangerous activities. And when you go for a signature or permission, only a granted apps to sign with the same certificate as a system or another trusted apps. Like when you try to go to install a Medium app, this will be take your logged in user into the Google Play Store that will automatically sign and generate a self sign certificate either in RSA, either in SHA-1, either in SHA-256. That's depend on that their algorithms of the uh, developer of this medium. So you need to give only a permission in what else you require. Let's consider Google Maps will require only the internet access and location access. If that is ask an explicit permissions like camera access, contact access, so this is more a dangerous. And let's consider why a Facebook will try to access your uh, Facebook or WhatsApp is going to give you as a free, but they try to access you as entirely like uh, you need to allow your phone activity, you need to allow your phone mic activities and everything. What else you was listening or doing activities that will be displayed against to the ads by the next day. They are reselling your data. So they are extracting your phone's informations of inside their app and they are reselling your data through an ads. That's it here. So try to give as appropriate permissions to the right apps. Don't try to give all your own permissions to them. When you come to a real world example, so when go for here, like a let's consider as a simple a flashlight app, ask a location, contacts, otherwise a microphone. These have a nothing to do with app functions. This could be a spyware, like they are stealing your data. It's like a bad practice. App request. That's clear. Now, when it comes to a good practice, a message app, a request, only SMS and contacts and storage media. This all permissions is clearly related to the app functionalities. When you purchase any type of Android phone, so let's consider like Samsung, Oppo, otherwise all these Chinese apps, Chinese phones must be required as an explicit permissions for each and every apps also. So that will be a more dangerous. They can run their ads and make the money also. So don't try to give all the required permissions, what they required for you. When you come to a developer and Pentester notes. So for a developer, use a context compact to check a self permission before accessing or restricting the features, like a request only a essential permissions. And a show, we would like to know what is the clear justification dialog of each permission request in the app. And we would like to handle the case where the user is denied the permission. Uh, will not going to crash the app also. Every pen tester or a security administrator must and should be look in this. We'll go for a pen tester. A pen tester would like to take the entire of the app and inspect the. We would like to decompile the APK file and inspect the Android manifest XML file for overprivileged permissions. And we would like to modify that Android manifest XML file. We would like to use the tools like MOB SF or APK tool to inspect Android manifest XML for a unnecessary permission. And we would like to check a attempt to bypass a Android security boundaries like a shared user IDs or export a components like let's consider you have any type of loan giving apps, otherwise a insurance apps. They try to steal your data. Like you try to take a borrow a loan. Like let's consider you have like a any Indian loans, otherwise any foreigner app loans. They try to give a APK file. They try to collect all your informations like your national identity, your passport, your selfie verifications or XYZ things. Once they try to give a loan, they try to ask a external things like you need to allow for them a contacts, you need to allow for them a your galleries or XYZ things. These are the explicit permissions that does not require for that type of apps. When you are taking a loan, directly go to the bank and try to process your fields and don't try to apply by online. That will give you a big trouble in the further. So the Android security models use a sandboxes and permissions for a foundational defense. Every app run its own isolated environment. App cannot access the system features or a user data unless a explicit allow. If they ask explicit permissions, I require more permissions for in your phone. Please don't allow. The users stay in control of their own privacy. Every user they need to stay their own privacy. That's it here. So later we would like to look for a Android app a life cycle.